Welcome, nice that you're watching this video. I'm Joost Beaumont, the Senior Cover Bond Analyst at ABN AMRO. I'm also the Chairman of the Statistics and Data Working Group at the ECBC, and I will talk you through the Dutch cover bond law. In the Dutch law, it's only allowed to have public sector loans, residential mortgages, commercial mortgages, as well as ship loans in cover pools. There are, of course, LTV limits, which are in line with the CRR, so 80% for residential mortgages, 60% for commercial mortgages, also 60% for ship loans. But to be clear, all Dutch covered bond programs currently consist only of residential mortgages, and these mortgages need to be based in the EEA area, so the European Economic Area, although for Dutch issuers actually all mortgages are in the Netherlands. Regarding the LTV limits, I can tell you that these are soft limits, which means that the difference between the higher LTVs above the 80% required in the CRR is actually in the cover pool and services as an additional credit enhancement. What is also good to know is that the valuation of the properties is based on the market value, and this will be adjusted by the indexed house prices, where most issuers take a quite prudent approach by only taking into account 90% of an increase in house prices, while taking a full account when prices are declining. The Dutch cover bond law also has required OC levels, which is 5% on a nominal basis, but it's good to bear in mind that this 5% takes into account the CRR requirements, so it's based on the 80% LTV limits. Market risk in Dutch cover bond programs is mainly mitigated by natural hedging as well as derivatives. Natural hedging is reflected by many Dutch banks having issued very long-dated covered bonds, which matches the longer nature of the assets. But as I said, the derivatives are also used to hedge, could be used to hedge market risk or interest rate risks. Then the liquidity risk is mitigated by, of course, the 180 days liquidity buffer. Here it's important to note that in the Dutch law, banks are allowed to look at the extended maturity date regarding their principal payments. But another feature is, of course, the extendable maturity. So most programs in the Netherlands are soft bullet programs with a 12-month extension, which also mitigates liquidity risks. There's still also conditional pass-through cover bonds outstanding, but all Dutch conditional pass-through issuers have shifted to soft bullets. Finally, a liquidity risk is also addressed by a prematurity test that many banks do. The Dutch cover bond law requires a cover pool monitor, so in line with Article 13 of the Cover Bond Directive. In the Netherlands, an external cover pool monitor as well as an internal cover pool monitor are allowed. In case of an internal cover pool monitor, of course, this is not separate from the bank, but this cover pool monitor needs to be separate from the credit decision-making process of the banks. And in this case, it's worthwhile mentioning that the checks of the coverage assets as well as the liquidity requirements need to be checked by an external accountant. The Dutch cover bond law also requires that cover bond programs comply with the CRR Article 129. This means that in the Netherlands only premium labeled covered bonds can be issued. It's also good to bear in mind that once issuers have updated their programs, all the bonds issued before 8 July will automatically become premium as well. So to stress again, it's not allowed in the Netherlands to issue non-premium covered bonds. Well, thank you for watching this video about the Dutch cover bond law. You can find much more information on the cover bond label website, and thanks again.